So you clicked on the video. You know why we're here. So quite honestly, let's just get into this. Quite honestly, because it's a sad July 2nd, and they did this right before the 4th of July weekend. Oh my God. So if you haven't heard already, Microsoft have cut another 9,000 roles today. 9,000. And it's not even just that. It's going to be over 9,000 because this is news that's just happening throughout the day. Right now it's like 5:07 where I'm at, and they announced a lot of layoffs across the board at Microsoft. That's the video game industry, that's the hardware, that's the software, that's everywhere in Microsoft. And these tech layoffs, this is probably going to be the worst, especially in the video game industry, the worst cuts probably all year, right? I made a video about how they was doing layoffs at Crystal Dynamics. Don't worry, that's going to be coming in this video as well, because they got affected as well. So they got hit twice, not even once. But let's get into some of what's going on the internet. I got this article here. I got a lot of things from LinkedIn and plus from X. And plus, we're just going to end with my thoughts on this. If you're new around here, hey, my name is Dylan Lee, aka Dylan Digital. I'm a senior talent acquisition specialist I work in the video game industry as a volunteer recruiter and plus as a recruiter in my 9 to 5. And I make content around job hunting tips and tricks with a video game spin to it. And today we're just going to talk about Microsoft because quite honestly, they have no idea what they're doing over there, in my opinion. So let's get into it. Microsoft cuts another 9,000 roles in the latest job cull. So they're cutting 9,000 roles worldwide in the latest round of cuts as the U.S. technology giant looks to slash cost. Now slashing cost. Now keep that in mind. They're going to be slashing a lot of cuts. And I know some people are saying, oh, this is like only like 4% of the total workforce. Do you know how huge Microsoft is? How many people works at Microsoft? The cuts are thought to impact different teams and countries' operations as part of efforts to cut layers of management. So and fun fact, I was actually laid off last year on Halloween. I made a video about it. Go check it out. And quite honestly, it felt like I was in the middle of the team. I was the senior of the team. On top was basically, my manager and the director from there. But, I was doing most of the work. I was hiring the most. I did the most on the team. I got my promotion, which was cool. My first promotion got cut real quick because you know why? This is how companies that focuses on super profits move. And I know a lot of people's not going to like it when I say this, but this is business to them. Like the human element it's almost non-existent. Almost non-existent. And we're seeing this on a huge scale with Microsoft. See, look here. Microsoft employs 228,000 full-time workers as of last June, reported an annual headcount. That's about 55% were in the U.S. And especially what's going on in the U.S. with, the current administration. I'm not talking about any politics here, but, and economics and what's going on right now, it's insane. And there's going to be a lot of people added to that pool of people looking for work now because of these cuts. It's insane what's going on right now, right? So let's get into some of what LinkedIn has to say about this as well, because I'm very active on LinkedIn, and there's a lot of people talking about this. We have Simon here saying, shaking my head with every Xbox related news story coming in today. My most sincere sympathies to everyone caught up in Xbox and broader Microsoft layoffs. It's utterly brutal, horrible of all involved, and was probably avoidable. Which is very true. You know, they have all this money and all this. Oh man, it's insane. With the better and he said it best himself right here, and was probably avoidable with better decision making from leadership. And Simon is completely right on this. It comes from the top. It comes from the top, people. Always keep that in mind. If senior management are the ones that's pointing the finger saying, hey, go in this direction, trust me, this is going to work, you know? And now there's 9,000 people, 9,000 families, over 9,000 families out of work, looking for work, figuring out how they're going to survive tomorrow. Forget thinking about the 4th of July weekend. They're thinking about December. They're thinking about life right now. And it's insane. With that said, here's his thoughts on this. So, number one, it's a bloodbath. I don't even know how else to describe it. When you have hundreds, and he just put thousands of layoffs across the industry, killing products, yeah. Awful for industries. And number two, it's a IP disaster. See, now this is the thing that's a little interesting here. They say it's going to hurt the IP, but I was looking at the stock. I was looking at Xbox's stock and Microsoft stock, and it's skyrocketing right now. But when it comes to the heart and minds of like gamers, like the actual, well, some people might think that the consumer in this case are the shareholders, and the people that buy the products are basically the people that sends the money to the shareholders, but that's like next level meta thinking right now. So there are at least two IPs that we know of that have been killed off at the knees. I cannot believe they're canceling Perfect Dark, that Perfect Dark trailer looked really good. It was really surprising when I heard they was doing layoffs. I think it was 3 months ago I made that video, and now they're just cutting the whole project all together. Hoo-wee. That's one of the that's one of Xbox's most valuable dormant IPs. Design from the reveal obviously was not quite right, but that could have been easily fixed. Okay, so he's talking about how the main protagonist didn't look quite right. She looked kind of weird in most people's eyes. So, man, oh man. And plus, he even touched upon the acquisition. Remember when Microsoft was making all these acquisitions, just gobbling up all these companies? They was fighting it in court. Now we're here. 9,000 plus people laid off, going down as some of the worst entertainment business deals of all time. Yep. Everyone's going to look back at this acquisition and say, wow, acquisitions are horrible. We should never have them. I don't know whether they brought them with a plan and with a different plan in mind, but were undercut by the aristocrat suits. Ooh. This is getting to some kind of some cyberpunk kind of world, man. Or they never really had a plan at all, but it's just baffling. Okay. The number 4 spot is going to kind of hurt a little bit for some people. The Phil Spencer memo. I'm going to see if I could try to find it here, but the memo, staff is, they're basically saying that staff, with the success that we're seeing, like this part, because this was a memo sent out to the team internally at Xbox. The success we're seeing currently is based on tough decisions we've had made previously. That line It's crazy. Because you wouldn't be cutting so many people, destroying so many people's lives if you're seeing so much success. It's like, it's an oxymoron. It's like jumbo shrimp. Like, what are we doing here? But Xbox is experiencing success, is a distant third place in its market, which is true. Right now we have Sony's doing very well. Nintendo Switch has recently came out. I got mine's right there. That's like, I think this sold like 5 million in just a couple weeks. It's insane. And now Xbox, they're pivoting out the hardware side of things when it comes to the video game industry. They're setting themselves up to be like a Sega, like a huge Sega right now. But Xbox is not experiencing success. It's a distant third place. Yep. And its brands is in tatters. Yes, it is. It's in tatters. Especially after today, it's going to be chaos. Chaos for the whole year for Xbox, quite honestly. His number 5 point, as I said a couple weeks, I'm expecting doubling down on a handful of brands, primarily Call of Duty. Yeah, I see them really, focusing in on Call of Duty, but I'm actually seeing, I think there was some cuts from Call of Duty side of things too when I did some of my research here that we'll get into. But yeah, man. Everwild as well. Everwild, the game from Rare. The people that makes, Sea of Thieves and, of course, Banjo-Kazooie. Remember that back in the day? They got cuts as well. It's insane, man. It's insane to see what's going on in this industry that I've recently just joined. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, that was Simon's take on things. He's on LinkedIn. Make sure you give him a follow. He has a lot of good news here as well, keeping people up to date with things. Let's see. We got Matt Berry. He's a recruiter from Crafton. And if you guys don't know what Crafton is, those are the folks that saved Hi-Fi Rush. Yes, you heard me. Saved Hi-Fi Rush, which was an amazing game from Xbox, but they cut them too. So here's what he has to say about this. I think it's time for me to be done with anything Microsoft. Oh, that's my phone there. And here's what he has to say about this. I think it's time for me to be done with anything Microsoft. And that really sucks. And he puts Microsoft's name in here too. So they're going to see this on their LinkedIn page. Their LinkedIn page is probably blown up right now from whoever manages that. So yeah. To me, what is now being reported, thanks to Richard King, for the Seattle Times article share, 9,000 of you affected today across all of their divisions. I just wish you the best. To the Xbox studios that's affected by the layoffs or even closure, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. No graphic, no links, no numbers. Just a bunch of BS on a Wednesday in the middle of the week, right before a holiday, too. It's crazy. Some people are like replying here. My heart's already breaking already. 9,000 is insane. All to increase agility. You see, and even Phil Spencer puts like, that memo is probably going to go down as probably one of the worst memos of all time when it comes to a leader, a boss, saying something like this to the team. Betting they all offer the same people contract positions with less pay in 3 to 6 months due to no one wanting to work at Microsoft. That hits the nail on the head from Alexander. This is where, and let me kind of switch scenes here a bit. This is where the corporate game is being played right? This is where things are going. They're doing all these layoffs, and they're going to start contracting people to work at these places like 3 months, maybe 6 months, a year if you're lucky, and then you're done. And then you're done. This is where the future of work is going. Listen, this is where things are heading in this direction when it comes to working. It's going to be contract. If you're full-time, you're temporary. If you're part-time, you're temporary. If you're temporary, well, you catch my drift. You catch my drift. It's insane. It's insane. So that's what Matt Berry had to say about it. Give him a follow. He has some open roles as well, I believe. Very good recruiter. All right, we have Kat. She's a senior UX UI designer, very skilled. This is what she has to say about this. 9,000 layoffs. I can't believe this is happening again. It's just insane. To those who's affected, I'm sorry. Please know that it has absolutely nothing to do with your skill or talent or you as a person, but I know how it hurts. It'll hurt for a while. And she's right about that. When I got hit with my layoff, that whole week, it was hell. That Christmas, I felt like I was living an out-of-body experience, Out-of-body experience. When layoffs happen to you, there's two paths to take. There's a hero path and there's a villain path. After today, I honestly feel like there's a lot of people that's going to take the dark path. And it's unfortunate. Take time to grieve, she says. Then pick up the pieces and work on your skills to be better than ever. And she follows up with, there's a lot of resources out there. Amir Savat, he has a website, amirsavat.com, that has a lot of free resources on it as well for people that are going through this. And I have a strong feeling a lot of people is going to go to his community. So please check out his community. It's a very awesome community. You won't regret it. So this is what Kat had to say about these layoffs. Shout out to Kat. We have Thomas here, and he's actually part of these cuts because he used to be the senior technical designer at ZeniMax Studios. Pretty sure I don't have a job anymore. Well wishes are appreciated. Possible positions, probably. It's still very early because this was like 5 hours ago. We found out 20 minutes ago. Finding out 20 minutes ago that you're being laid off. Just like that. It's insane. We're living, we're heading towards a dystopia when it comes to the job market. This is insane. And here's Haley. She's very active in the video game industry. She posts a lot on LinkedIn as well. Very uplifting, especially for entry-level people that's getting into the industry. This is what she has to say about this. Approximately 9,000 people have just lost their jobs at Microsoft today. Respectfully, this is very horrifying. This marks over 10,000 people laid off in under a year in the industry. In the industry alone. Imagine this. 10,000 families unsure how to put food on the table, 10,000 job seekers, highly educated, experienced, and qualified, with the majority still looking for work on average over a year due to crippling job market, 10,000 people wondering what they could have done differently to avoid being seen as some sort of number on a spreadsheet. On a spreadsheet. Layoffs destroy lives. If someone is impacted, uplift them. Don't be numb to the thousands of active job seekers trying to find a means to recover. And most importantly, keep trying. Don't give up. LinkedIn. This is insane. This is insane. We're This is unfortunately the future of the job market. This is the future of work. We're in a new age of work, looking for work, and we're in a new age of work right now. And they're transitioning these full times and part times into something more contract. Because I assure you, Microsoft is still hiring. Even though they have 9,000 people out of work, they're still hiring. They're probably looking for someone that will work more for less. Yes. Work more for less. Do twice the amount of work. And sadly, this is not going to affect them right now. This is actually affecting them in a very, the company itself I'm talking about. This is affecting Microsoft in a somewhat positive light because their stock is sky high. Their shareholders are probably on the moon right now. So this is what Haley has to say about it. Shout outs to Haley. Keep fighting the good fight. And we have Autumn Rose on LinkedIn saying, end of an era. Unfortunately, I was just hit with the news that my time at... Wow. Really? They just released this game. Like, okay, well, not just released, but the game is doing good. They actually, yeah. They actually have just released this game on PlayStation. On PlayStation. And they're doing layoffs. Well, Bethesda has come to an end as part of their latest round of layoffs at Xbox. I'm endlessly grateful for the opportunity to work with such incredible titles with such talented individuals and have gained valuable experience shaping truly unique and impressive market campaigns. From Deathloop, which was an amazing game in my eyes, to Redfall, which honestly didn't do well in a lot of people's eyes. It kind of flopped. To Indiana Jones and The Great Circle, which was a hit, and people loved it. It's been a very rewarding journey supporting the work of brilliant developers. With that being said, I'm on the lookout for new game opportunities in the market and publishing. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning with these layoffs. Don't think that this is just the end. This is just the beginning, especially with AI and how Microsoft is really focusing directly on making AI very efficient, especially for their next gen console. That's probably coming next. I'm hearing rumors about like in the next 16 months, they want this console on the market. It's insane. So shout out to Autumn. She was behind all these amazing campaigns. She's out looking for work right now because of these layoffs. Okay. So we're going to keep these going. This is probably going to be a long video, so, bear with me. So Jonathan Walker, lead combat designer at ZeniMax. Tough news. The project we've been building at ZeniMax Online, it was an online game that was building in the shadows, has been canceled. I've been a part of this project for the last year and incredibly proud of what we accomplished when I joined. I helped overhaul the core combat systems in just a few months so we could deliver a gameplay experience worth showing. That work was later doomed directly to Microsoft leadership, and it was highlight of the project. highlight for the project. But what I'm most proud of is the team, talented, kind, collaborative, and full of subject matter experts who brought their best every day. Any one of them would have been an asset to your project. And now he's out looking for work as well. Some people are like cursing up on here as well. Guys, it's insane what's going on today in the video game industry. It's like nothing's safe. Nothing's safe, you know? You gotta, like I keep on preaching on my channel, we're in a new age of work, looking for work and work. You gotta move like your own business. You gotta move like that. I'm not saying start your own business. If you want to do that, that's good too. But you gotta move like you're selling your skills to these companies, and it's going to be like a company to company kind of thing, not company to individual. Because they're the way how they're moving and with all these cuts and things like that, just like how Haley said it in her post, numbers. They're treating people like numbers here. They're saying, okay, how can we make cuts? Let's just pull up a report on ADP or whatever platform they have. Let's just filter out everyone from highest to lowest when it comes to salary and just cut it. Cut everyone there, and that's how much we'll make the next quarter. That's how they think. This is the world of business when it comes to this upper management side of things for most companies. Now, I'm not saying all companies, but for most companies, this is how they roll. This is how they roll. We have one here, 9,000 jobs. Microsoft, at this point, it feels like this. Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. You know, this meme right here is exactly how it feels right now. Exactly, and the suits are just like eating it up. Because the stock is going insane right now. Insane. And one last one. This is the last one for LinkedIn. This is from Ben Jones, game director at ZeniMax Online Studios. Remember the one that we just covered, the one that was making the games in the shadows? He was the head honcho for that. He was directing that. Setting aside my own grief after today's tragic news and the loss of the most exciting and ambitious project I've worked on to date. This is his dream being crushed right here. My job and primary purpose is to find homes for these talented friends and colleagues that were let go from ZeniMax Online Studios this morning. As I spent the last 7.5 years assembling this team, I have a deep understanding of their strength, passions, and where they might line up with your team needs. Though I'll likely create separate posts for each department. Wow. Over the coming days, if you are in talent/recruiting or just hiring for your project, please reach out directly. Our loss, and really a profound loss of gaming, has the potential to be your gain. What a leader. What a leader, man. Ben Jones, you probably won't watch this, but you're probably the best leader I've seen in a long, long time from these posts. He's taking his time out of his grief, mind you, to help the team that he built 7.5 years of assembling this team to find work and even in some cases, homes. Please go support Ben. If you're a recruiter in the video game industry or in the tech, or you could like utilize people with amazing skills in this industry, please go check out Ben. Because this is one leader that knows how to treat his team. Shout out to Ben. Okay, so now we're just going to just watch and look at the fallout on X. You could see some of it right here already. Just going to refresh it here. Rip Perfect Dark. Xbox have officially canceled Perfect Dark and shut down the initiative studio. Gameplay trailer from last year looked awesome with almost Dishonored S-level design. Xbox is such a mess. Like, and looking at, I don't even want to look at this. I don't even want to look at this because it looked good, and it's a game that we'll never get to play. And everyone that has been affected, they're out on work now. This guy says, RGB says, Xbox recap on Wednesday 2nd of July 2025. The initiative closed. Perfect Dark canceled. ZeniMax Europe massive layoffs. MMORPG that I was working on, those two profiles I was talking about, the director and the other person that was in the company, their game got canceled. Rare, massive layoffs. Elder Wild, canceled. Turn 10. And if you guys don't know who Turn 10 is, they're basically the developers that makes the racing game Forza Motorsport. And 50% of them got fired. Fired. The same people that made Forza Motorsport, Turn 10, they're actually also working on the next Fable game. And now 50% of their workforce got cut. What are we doing here? What is this? Raven Studios. Call of Duty. Massive layoffs. Phil Spencer playing games. And this right here, this is kind of wild, honestly. This right here is Phil Spencer's gamer tag. And he's having a good time playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle right now on his Xbox. While this is transpiring. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Arcane Austin closed down. Tango Gameworks nearly lost forever. Thank goodness for Crafton. Thank God for Crafton. Okay, quite honestly, I don't think I want to read any more of this. I've been thinking about this since this morning, and I just want to just put my thoughts into a video. This is probably going to be a long video. I just wanted to put it out there because I've been covering some of the layoffs that's been happening in the video game industry, and this has been by far the largest cuts that we've seen in the industry to date, and this is just the beginning, unfortunately. So my final thoughts on this is why it's important to always think about what's next. Even if you feel like you're comfortable and things are good, always have your resume updated, always have your LinkedIn profile sharp, and always think about adding value to others with your skills, not only to one company, but to many companies and many people. And always help others. Just help people when you can, please. You be safe out there, job seeker. Thank you for stopping by. My heart condolences goes out to everyone who's affected by these layoffs at Microsoft. I'll see you in the next level.